Hi Becky.
Hi Rach.
How are you?
Yeah, well thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for agreeing to have a chat with me about mental health and well-being and listening. And we've got the lovely young Dorothy with us as well, just possibly out of shot now. She may make a contribution. So how are you doing today?
Yeah, doing really well, thank you.
So I thought summer well-being season, it'd be good to have a little bit of a chat. I know we've got the Samaritans have got their big listen coming up on July the 24th about encouraging us to really listen well. I know it can be really important. We're all under pressure now, aren't we, to perhaps, if you are perhaps concerned about somebody, just to feel confident to strike up a conversation. I know we've worked together, haven't we, shared an office, and that's been really helpful. I've certainly found it helpful just to be able to chat to you and perhaps say if I'm perhaps struggling with something or need a bit of inspiration or just a bit of a chat break.
Yeah.
So that's been helpful.
Yeah, I think there's something, especially when you work for a small charity or a small organisation, it can be even more helpful to have that sort of buddy or friend at work who you can just sort of talk about when you're feeling when you're feeling a bit stressed or sort of anxiety about something at work. You know, just it gives you that sort of release really in terms of helping to sort of manage your own well-being.
And it can be very absorbing, can't it, doing work that you're really passionate about. It can get can sometimes feel overwhelming, can't it?
Definitely.
And it's good to be able to just talk through with somebody that you know will be able to listen well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just gives you that space and time to reflect, which can sometimes be nice away from it being necessarily in management, line manager type situation, just having someone who you can go and have a cup of tea with and check in with each other.
Is there anything that you've sort of found particularly helpful or perhaps not helpful?
Yeah, I think in terms of sort of what's tips for listening well, I think having giving the person plenty of space to just talk without offering solutions. I think it's really easy to offer solutions. We all do it when someone starts talking about something that's troubling them. But actually, there's real value in just being able to release kind of what's bothering you and work things through. And often people will come up with their own solutions to whatever's troubling them.
If you just sort of create that space to perhaps talk things through and like you say, not necessarily looking for immediate answers. Sometimes you are if you're really stressed.
Can be.
But just being able to articulate what's going on perhaps and share ideas and
I think sort of giving the person space for the conversation to kind of breathe, even though it can feel awkward in terms of especially if someone's expressing some quite difficult emotions. Rather than just jumping in to respond, just give a moment to sort of allow conversations to breathe, allow kind of pause for reflection. I found that really helpful, and remembering that your own awkwardness is kind of perhaps your problem.
You're feeling self-conscious, perhaps a bit vulnerable. And I know you said earlier sometimes it can feel awkward if the thing that you're worrying about, it's not really a big deal, but for you at that time it's becoming really challenging.
And for me personally, things I find really stressful in a work setting all the time is if I've got like a big project deadline or a big kind of event coming up, and that's often the time I know that's going to be a pressure point, so it's really good for me to make sure I've booked in space to have a quick coffee, mid-morning coffee with someone, or maybe even just a text checking in at the end of the day.
I know for me something that I've just very recently been reminded to do, because I'm working from home at the moment, is schedule in those breaks and those lunch breaks, because it's very easy to sort of think, I probably could fit this meeting in with this person. But, you want to be helpful, but actually for your own well-being you do need that time to sort of decompress.
And not every minute spent on Zoom has to be productive. It can just be asking someone how they're doing, what have they been up to, how their family are, that kind of thing, and not losing that kind of human connection.
And being in a place where you are available for people because you're not massively stressed yourself, and you are able
Yeah.
to have those conversations that are really important. I know with the Samaritans, for example, they try and encourage people, if you're concerned about somebody, or if you notice something, just to be brave and strike up that conversation. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
You look a bit stressed,
Yeah,
and just to take the time to do that.
I think that's really good, and having that, and realising it's okay to ask direct questions if you think someone's not doing so well. You don't have to kind of tiptoe around it so much, because often people are waiting to be asked.
Yeah.
And they might feel quite, no one's really that bothered about me, or everyone's got their own problems. No one needs to hear my problems. So yeah, not being afraid to ask the difficult questions and patiently listen to the response.
Yeah, and if nobody does ask, perhaps just don't be afraid to sort of put your hand up and say, I need a bit of support.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I have a cup of tea and a chat?
Yeah.
Can be a good starting point,
Good.
can't it?
People are often really. I've always found people are happy to pause for that conversation.
Brilliant. Thank you, Becky.
You've got a bumblebee.
Have I got a bumblebee? We are in the summer wellbeing season. Can we see?
Wow.
We're outside. We've got a visiting bumblebee. All is well. Your favourite. Bit of a bumblebee fan here. So thank you, everybody. We had a bee in the last conversation with Cassius, so it's obviously a theme. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Becky. Thank you for listening. See you next time.